It wasn't in 1994, April, when the massacre was going on. The war had taken place since 1990, the systematic killing of the Tutsis by the Hutus in the country. One of the reasons why I came to Rwanda was to play a part in the healing exercise of my country. To tell them nobody chose to be born a Tutsi, nobody chose to be born a Hutu. What matters is that we are human beings. The Tutsis came in great numbers to hide in the church, and the priest waited until a bigger number had come to church, and now he invited a group of the killers who were trained to kill the Tutsis. So they came and killed everyone.
In 1994, the world came to know of a madness engulfing the Central African country of Rwanda. It was a madness that had started decades before as a rivalry between the majority group of Hutus and the Tutsis, who had been favored under decades of Belgian colonial rule.
There are about 44 shelves of this size, with bones of the same kind on one shelf, skulls on one. The other bones are put on another shelf. So 44 of them in this mass grave. And in the other mass grave, across there are about 46 shelves with bones organized in the same manner.
When I visited the memorial site, I had a hard time. I was speechless. It was a real emotional experience, and I could then understand what the people went through. To visit where their loved ones were killed, that's another experience in itself.
A festering anger had finally broken into an orchestrated genocide program of radicalized Hutus killing Tutsis along with moderate Hutus. While the leaders of the watching world wrung their hands in the shame of knowing that outside intervention could stop all this, nearly 1 million people were murdered in the course of a few months.
You know, every time I come here, my feelings change. We should see those things that bring us together, not the things that divide us. We are all Rwandese. We should work hard in the country so that these things do not happen again.
Paul Mutangwa, like millions of his fellow Rwandese, has made the choice to create a new future for his country. In fact, for Paul, there have been a whole series of choices. At the age of 13, still living in neighboring Uganda as a refugee from the earlier stages of Rwanda's internal strife, Paul set out to understand his Rwandan roots from his parents and grandfather. It was while he sat watching the horrors of the genocide on Ugandan TV in the summer of 1994 that he made up his mind. On July 19, 1994, he packed his bags for Rwanda's capital city of Kigali. It was his first time to see Rwanda. The killings had stopped mere days before.
The first impression that I had when I got to Kigali, it was stinking. There was no water, no electricity. The killers had fled the country. There were bodies scattered, and military vehicles were roaming around, gathering those bodies. It was beyond human imagination. I was looking at what happened and wondered whether I could be able to live in Rwanda or go back to Uganda. But by and by, I said, look, if this is my country, I have to be here.
Are you happy where you are? Are you happy with this shelter?
Very much. We don't sit there to say this happened, and we are forging a way ahead. We want to close this chapter of our history and opening a new chapter of good times. Canadians should know that the present Rwanda is not the same as the Rwanda in 1994 or before. We are building a united Rwanda and the Rwandans, regardless of where they came from, regardless of which ethnic group they belong. The Rwandese are hardworking people, and they accept progress. They accept changes for the better. It is training that matters. If you train them into doing something good, they will do it.